Welcome to the podcast From Stress to Success Blueprint. And I am so happy you're here because what do I have? I have a Nancy Leeds Gribble here, and she's the founder and the CEO of a NourishLiftGrow. Nancy is a plant-based culinary nutrition expert and women's wellness and transformational coach. And my coach was for quite a few years, and she's amazing, by the way. And she specializes in empowering women in middle life and beyond with the tools and guidance they need for optimum health, weight loss, hormone balance, and body confidence. She believes and shares how the transformative power of food can heal, support, build our health, and create ageless vitality. Welcome, Nancy.
Yay! Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm so excited to have you here because uh, you know, me as a stress management coach, I know that in order to manage stress, we should take care, of course, of our mind. But if we're not really taking care of our body, everything else doesn't even count. So I would love to share more, want to talk about your journey, how you got where you were, and we will, tips and tricks about the food and everything. So first, I want to ask you, did you like wake up one morning and you're like, you know what, I'm going to be a nutritional coach?
That is a 100% no. Never in my wheelhouse, never in my thought process ever. Yeah, it was through a serious series, excuse me, of events in life that led me to starting on this path.
I know I've been watching a lot of your videos how to cook, and you are plant-based. And I tell a funny story for those who are listening in. So when I start coaching with Nancy, she was really talking about the plant-based foods, and I was thinking to myself, there's no way I'm going to live without meat. And my dad was a butcher for the longest time, and he was working Kroger's in the meat department, and like meat and potatoes was like number one thing for me. And when I saw how much you can do and how many delicious foods you can make just plant-based, that just amazed me. So I totally asking you to go and check it out. Her YouTube channel, one day teaching how to do all that nutritious food. Of course, all of that's going to be in the description below. And also, I want to tell you another funny story about this that she introduced me to fasting. And I remember when she said that, I should fast 16 hours a day. And I was like, oh, you mean like once a month, once a lifetime? And she's like, no, this is like every day. And I remember I told her, there's no way I'm going to do this. This is impossible. But guess what? I did it. So thank you, Nancy, for that. And I want to dive in immediately. And, you know, a lot of us have way too much going on. We need to take care of business, of kids, of family, of all kinds of stuff. So when we think about stress, and then somebody says, "Hey, well, here's a new diet," which I would say lifestyle change. We don't want to put more stress into ourselves. So now the question for you, when somebody wants to change their lifestyle that has to do with nutrition and exercise and everything, what is the first thing that they should do to kind of ease into that?
Oh, is let go of perfection. Honestly, that's the very first thing. I mean, I work with smart, successful, savvy women. We're used to getting things done. They're used to going all in, doing all the things, giving it their all. The problem is when it comes to weight loss and being healthy, is that can only last for a while because when you change all your habits and you do a complete 180, it's exciting, right? And it's got some results, but it's not sustainable at all. So the very first thing is realizing that the focus, of course, it's a lifestyle, but must be on progress, viewing your own behaviors that are going to get you to the results that you want and how you can make progress with those within your lifestyle. So it's a balance of pushing yourself, but also working within your lifestyle. That's just one of the pieces of the whole puzzle. But that's a key one because like I said, all the women I work with, they're like, I just get it done. But that's not how it works in the weight loss arena.
The other thing I hear a lot, and especially when I started, doing my change in life, We live with other people in the household. And especially if the woman says, hey, let's be healthier. But then the rest of the family, like, no, where are my potato chips and all that. What you will recommend those who want to change their own diet, but have to deal with other people in the household and they still need to cook the foods for others?
Oh yeah, that is so tricky, but it's doable. So first you have to really, and this is really whether you have other people in your household or not. You have to separate yourself from them and you have to get really clear, really, really clear on why you're doing this. And part of that can be remembering that you get to set the example now. Like people don't gravitate because of what you tell them. They gravitate because of what you show them. So you have to set yourself up as the example. And then there's a whole variety, like there's a whole area of trigger foods. If you have to have these foods in the house because of the other people, I help you figure out how to do that. But with meals, you probably don't eat all three meals with your family every single day. So you do have control over these other meals by yourself. And then the ones that you do share with them, just an example, I'm vegan. My husband is not, and so we find the common ground of what you can eat. And then you have different like proteins or different healthy things, or you got to watch your portions. But the hardest part of it is when the other people feel like they're losing, for lack of a better word, their playmate, their food mate, or drinking mate, or whatever it may be. And so, of course, they want the best for you, but they also, don't want to give up their buddy. So so honestly, you need a strong support system outside of your house to help you get through that and help you manage that. But it is doable.
I think that's where the coaching really comes into play big, big time. Because I remember when I signed up with you, that knowing that at the end of the day, I will need to send you a screenshot what I ate and how much water I drink and did I really exercise today really made all difference for me because I know that I cannot be accountable to myself because I could say, oh, nobody's watching. I'm not going to work out today, oh, maybe tomorrow, and that's the tomorrow thing. So coaching is so important. And, coaching that has to do with nutrition and exercise, but also coaching for the same stress management, coaching
Yep.
for business, for any the accountability. It just, we need to know that somebody's paying attention to us. But also coaching is so good when you diving into abyss and thinking, oh my gosh, I cannot do this anymore, or have questions or for all of that support. And I remember when I'll also stop drinking alcohol because of I signed up for your program. Well, because it says if you don't drink alcohol, it helps with your body to recuperate. And after that, I just stopped drinking alcohol at all. And now I'm going to be 3 years now. And I remember the peer pressure was very hard because, I'm Lithuanian. And when I go to my Lithuanian parties, they immediately says like, you mean you're not drinking? What? And I'm not saying that heavy liquor or anything. It's just glass of wine, like, oh, this is how I distress myself. This is fun. Like, oh, let's just open champagne or something, and then that's what makes you feel kind of gathered together. And that's the fun it's about, is participating, is the community, is that loyalty. And when I start telling them, I'm like, no, I'm not going to drink anymore. It was so surprising to me to see that people who really knew me, like my closest friends, there was like I became like an enemy, like, oh, well, you're not with us anymore. You are an outsider now. And that loyalty, because I wanted really to please them. And it was hard those moments when, especially when there's a birthday and they will be like, oh, come on, you mean you're not even going to have a one glass of champagne for me? Come on, it's my birthday. And that peer pressure, especially if somebody who comes from the environment like I was, I'm a people pleaser. And to me, the fear of abandonment was so strong, and I needed to belong to a group. It was that moment when I will remember you, when you say, okay, no, you can stay strong and you can do this and you can go through that. And that moment when that peer pressure is so hard to carry on, when I know that I have a coach, that I know that you will be there for me, that you will tell me, yes, you're doing a good job, yes, it's good, and then see the results actually that building every single day, that was priceless for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it really makes a difference. And I think the reality is it's whether you're giving up, want to cut down or give up alcohol, cut down or give up French fries, whatever it is. The people that are saying these things to you, right? They're not trying to be malicious, right? At all. They are just like, I don't see the problem. And sometimes even if they see the problem, they don't want you to, like I said, they don't want the dynamic to change, but they're not coming from a bad place. And that's why really having a coach is so beneficial. And every new level, I think this is really important. Every new level of our life requires a new level, right? And to get there, you need somebody who's steps ahead of you, who's done what you have done, and also has the strategies and the tools to teach you. Because a lot of women, you hear this, I'm sure, in yours. I know what to do. I know what to do. I know what I know is the kiss of death. I think it's what prevents people from taking action, from hiring a coach or joining a program or getting in a membership. It prevents them because they're like, I don't need that because I know what to do. And it is not a sign of weakness to hire somebody, join something, or do something. It is a sign of owning that you want to get to the next level and you want to get there right. You want to know that the plan that's in front of you is going to work. And that's what hiring a coach or joining something is. It's not a sign of weakness of, oh, I can't do this on my own. We're busy. I say this all the time. Yay for all the things women can do now, but also we got a lot added to our plate, our physical plates of what we have to do every day, and nothing got taken off. Now we're the homemaker, we're the breadwinner, we're the mom, we're the philanthropist, we're charity. We'll just go there. And we have to do everything. And then we're supposed to look great, feel great, manage menopause, do all the things. And it's a lot. And so having somebody to continue guide you and keep you on the path of you so that you can do all these other things, but making sure you're healthy and you're managing your stress along that way is key.
I think there's so many, especially women, think like taking care of yourself is selfish. It's like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, because it's being told through generations of no, you need to give and give and give. You need to become this martyr, and the more you give, the I don't know, the more medals you'll get when you die or something like that between the lines. And it's like, and I keep on telling my clients, it's not you cannot pour out of empty pitch. That's as
Right.
simple as this. If you want to take care of your family, you want to take care of your business, the people that you love in your life, the best way to do it if for you to be fully replenished and healthy mentally and physically, that you can be there for them. So
Yeah.
you do not start thinking, hey, I need to go on a diet now, and I need to start making breaks when you're actually in the hospital. Now that's a little too late. So let's not wait on that.
Yeah. I mean, that is how my whole journey started was, I mean, I lost people. I lost my husband. Then I lost a fiance. I lost people to cancer. And I was a mom, older mom with a young son. And I really realized like, I got to get healthy. Like this kid cannot have any more tragedy in his very young life. And even though I was vegan, I was kind of a junk food vegan. I was always striving to be skinny. I like nutrition. I was like, whatever. I just need to be skinny. And I was a yo-yo dieter my whole life. My worth was my weight. Like that was something I was taught. And you know, it was because I said, wait a minute, these were very on the outside, very healthy looking men, very healthy. They worked out, they did all the thing. We didn't know what was brewing on the inside. And when it came, it took them. My husband passed away 9 months later, and 4 years later, when I got engaged, my fiance passed away in 2 weeks. So, yeah, we got to get it together for our health. And the saying that I love that kind of puts people back, but it makes you pay attention, is you say you will die for your family or your kids, but are you willing to live for them? Are you willing to do what you need to do to make sure your health is in order so that you are around for them and when they have kids, to be the grandparent? And then you know what happens? This is what happened to me. My journey started because I was like, I got to do this for my son. As I started eating better, as I started working out, I started feeling better. I started feeling more confident in my choices. And the switch happened where, of course, I still want to be healthy for him, but I was somebody who people who knew me, I didn't care if I lived or died, except for God had entrusted me to be the mom of a young son. So I needed to stick around. But the shift started happening like, wait a minute. I do want to be here. I'm feeling better now. I'm taking care of myself. And it really opened up this whole arena. That is how I got here doing what I do, because I couldn't believe the transformation. Not like, yes, I had an outside transformation, definitely. But the inside, my confidence level, I'm 60 now. I'm more confident than I ever was when I was younger. It's unbelievable. And it's because the power you learn when you take control and learn how to be healthy, how to work out just to be healthy. Like if you have body goals, that's great, but you earn your power there. You really do. It's unbelievable.
Every time when I watch videos of exercises and all that stuff that you teach online, every time I look at you, I'm thinking, there's no way you're 60 years old. No way. And what was also very surprising for me when when we started coaching, I mean when you were coaching me, and I remember you told me, oh, when you hit the plateau, let me know what of losing weight, and then I hit that. I'm like, okay, well, I'm there now. And you told me to eat more protein. I heard my mom, oh, and my mom is a bully, so she would, every time I see her, she's like, you're too fat, stop eating, stop eating, stop eating. And
Yes.
it's the opposite. It's like, no, you need to feed the body, you need to eat the protein, the good stuff, so it knows not to hold on to it, so you do not go into starvation mode. That was a huge shift for me.
Yeah, there's a listen, for all of us, especially my women my age and thereabout, we grew up. You do not eat more than 1,200 calories. You be skinny. That's the goal. Eat less. Go do hours of cardio. You do what you need to do. That's it. We have this mindset. And I mean, even for me, my whole journey was I got healthy. Then I learned about the power of macronutrients. And then I put these two together along with my fitness, and everything changed, because we need to eat the right balance, but of the foods that we're consuming. And the reality is most women are not consuming enough protein. Most are under eating, but under eating in general. So say somebody is listening and they have weight. I say fat because we don't want to lose weight from our muscles or our tissues. We want to lose the visceral fat or the stubborn fat. And you may not always start out in a deficit. You might have been somebody like me who had eaten 1,100 calories for so long that there was no way your body was going to say, I'm going to give up anything, because it was barely functioning. And so I had to go and learn how to eat more and then go into a deficit and eat more. So just for an example, I started my journey at 1,100 calories. I weighed 138, 39. I'm 5'4". I currently weigh about 118, and I eat 2,000 to 2,200 calories a day. And I don't do cardio, except for if I ever want to go in a deficit, then I'll add some HIIT in. I do walk every day. I get my 10K steps in steady state cardio, and I weight train. You know how I feel about weight training.
That's one of the things that I realized that has to do with stress and working out. Of course, I know that's very important to move the body and all of this. And I constantly will hear this thing, oh, you need to run. I hate running. It's boring. It's strenuous, and it's like I get my heartbeat very fast, and I get into sweating very fast. Maybe I can be a good like sprint runner for 20 seconds, but
Yeah.
after that, I
Yeah.
hate running. So then I remember when I started lifting weights, and my mom said, oh my gosh, no way, you're going to become like this women masculine. Yeah, I mean, I'm still lifting like 10 pounds, you know, and it feels great. I mean, I'm lean up, slimmed up, but there's women who think that, oh my gosh, you're going to lift even 25 pounds and suddenly you become this woman. The woman body thing is not really adjusted to that. So what would you say to those women who like, oh my gosh, I don't want to look like a man now if I'm going to start lifting weights?
You're not going to. You're just, I listen, I have worked with hundreds and hundreds of women, and we're lifting heavy, and none of them look like a she-man. Like they are lean, are at the body weight they want to be. It takes so much to build muscle. Like it takes first of all, you need to be eating enough, and then you need to be eating enough in the right portions, and then you need to be strength training, and you need to be progressively overloading and getting to failure. It is, I try, like I tell people, like, you don't understand. Like I'm in there like, come on. And I have like decent muscles and stuff like that, but nobody's gonna look at me and go, dang, like your muscles are too big and you look like a man. Not at all. And that's for the majority. The ones that you see that are like that, they were very purpose driven to get that. And when I say purpose driven, they are tracking every little speck that they eat. They're training 3 hours a day. We're not training 3 hours a day. They're just some of them, they've been doing it their whole life. So we have to shed that. I do still get every once in a while the one person that is like, no, I'm gonna bulk up. And sometimes the reality is they feel that way because they do have weight to lose. So I understand it, but it's not happening. It's just not.
I remember when I started lifting weights, my 10 pounds, 12 pounds, and I was doing all body exercises, and I went to a movie theater, and the elevator was full, and I thought, well, I'll just go take the stairs. And I went on the fifth floor, and I wasn't tired. And now I thought to myself, like, oh my God, this is cool. It's working, because I remember I will go to the second floor and already will be out of breath. So
Yeah.
that I was like, wow, it's working, because I could see is I don't have to do it so much, like you said, hours and hours, and I can use this in my own life, because when I pick up a box or something, that I'm capable of doing that. That felt awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really important. And I think here's what's really important. A lot of people are like, women will be like, they're thin, they don't really carry any muscle and they don't think about it. And they're like, I don't need to work out. But the reality is you've got to really sometimes shift it from a physique goal to a longevity goal. So muscle has been touted as the organ of longevity. Muscle is what keeps you functionally fit. Want to get down on the ground with your grandkids? Guess what you need? If you want to get back up, muscle. Want to go touring around and walk around? You need muscle. Want to carry those groceries? You need muscle. You have to do it. It's also important for our bone density. Like, so it goes beyond. When I do talks now, like weight is of importance to a good portion of people. But in my age bracket, 50 and above, like longevity starts playing in here. Like, we're thinking about these things. This is about longevity too. And so if you're walking beautiful, like keep that up. If you're already a runner and you love it, keep it up, but get those weights in there. Like you don't have to become a gym rat, but you do need to start lifting some weights and then maybe do some other things. You can walk with a weighted vest. Like there's a lot of different ways and things you can do, but just know that it's part of your health. So, because I know people get confused when they're like, oh, you do weight loss, I don't have any weight to lose, but they have zero muscle. Like they couldn't lift themselves out of a pool if they tried. And like that's not gonna fare so well for you as you age. And when you break, it's been shown you get a hip fracture, women get a hip fracture, and it can increase your mortality rate by 20% in the first year. So you got to protect your bone strength too, which is part of it, strength training. So there's my spiel. I'm a big promoter of it.
And that works. And also, for those who are listening in and they're like, well, I don't know, am I really ready for this? I say start small and just going for a walk. And there was this research done that those women who were working out at the gym and those women that were just, going for a walk for 10-15 minutes walk, it's mentally, that has to do with, let's say, with your mental state and managing your stress in general, that really comes from your mind. You gave the same results. It's like you don't have to go to the gym. And for example, I started dancing classes and I love it. And I noticed that my body start changing, because when you dance you use all kinds of muscles, and I'm like, wow, I look much better in those pants now, and it's fun. I see other people. So incorporating exercise in your life, it does not have to be so stressful. Like I say, stress management should not be stressful. That has to do with exercises. You can incorporate walking. Take your family with you. You have a pet. You walk with you. I'm not sure about, can you take your cat for a walk or a hamster? But who knows? You can use an excuse. But get yourself out there and try something new, or get in communities where you can go with a neighbor or something. There's plenty of things if you really want to. But I also want to touch base on that stress, and somebody is stressing out about changing diets and all of this. I know a lot of us that get into this territory of thinking, oh no, but now I will lose all the snacks and all the cute stuff I love to eat and all of the joy out of my life, because now I'm going to be eating tasteless salads for the rest of it. What you would tell those that are afraid that they're going to lose any joy?
Well, okay, so let me phrase this correctly. We don't do deprivation. It doesn't work. You can build in foods you love. Now, do you have to delay that instant gratification on certain days? Yes, because you have to change your habits. But is it forever? No. You just, instead of having the Snickers bar every night, you're like, I'm going to build it in and I'm going to have my Snickers bar on Saturday. You want that glass of wine, I'm going to have it in on Saturday. You build it into your program. It's very doable. And I tell people, when we do deficits in maintenance, you're basically eating the same. You're just changing portions. And once you start eating healthier, a lot of the stuff goes away. But I can tell you, if anyone were to tell me I had to give up my chips and salsa, I'd be like, that is not ever going to happen. I love chips and salsa. I love my dairy-free chocolate chips. I eat them like little snacks, and they work for me. I went, I don't, if I want an Oreo, I don't need to eat the whole bag. So you just look at it like as delay, don't deprive. Restriction doesn't work. It may work short term. It may work short term. I've seen amazing results, but this is when people are like, what do you mean by transformation? I'm like, it has to last. And I go, something is not a transformation if it doesn't stick. And it has to stick. And I really feel like it's the consistency, the progress over the perfection, the understanding. It's not about being restrictive, but it is about being purposeful, making the changes that you have to change. And, can it be hard at times, but you choose your hard. Is it harder staying the same, or is it harder going to change? Well, for most, in the moment, it feels harder to change. The next day, it feels harder staying the same if you didn't make the decision. So, we have to be responsible people. I wish I could tell people, no, you can eat whatever you want, whenever you want. But that it drives me nuts when I see ads. Like, I still, to this day, drives me insane when I see all the ads that I was a sucker for. And I still see people throwing good money over bad. And it's just, I'm like, that's where I want to shake up everybody and go, there is no quick fix. There is no magic pill. There is no magic anything. It is work, but it doesn't have to be like, like you can build things in. You can, like all my clients, Thursday, I'm like, none of you, if I see a single person tracking anything on Thursday, I'm coming after you. Enjoy the damn day. Like, right? Like, this is life, and then guess what you do? You pick back up on Friday.
I think to know that we have control, that what gives us this trust in ourselves, and because I think that's has to do a lot of what overall what we think about stress in general is. It's like worrying about the future is you think you lose control over something and you don't know what you will do, you don't feel safe, and that's why it's so stressful. But like about the food, if you know that you can have that food, but let's say on Saturday, you have this control over it, so you don't really stress so much. Hence, you have a better result. I think also it's very important to celebrate your wins and reward yourself. And I will
Yes.
never forget how I found this dessert that was so happy to eat and celebrate my wins when I will use avocado, cocoa powder, which unsweetened, and I will put few dates in it and just pulse it in the food processor and make it, put some water in it or almond milk if I want to, unsweetened, of course, and just make it this pudding, and it tastes delicious. And I'm eating something that was nutritious and delicious at the same time. And it was like,
My
wow,
words,
this could.
Lolita. Sorry.
So yeah, it's all about, it is so doable, and I already, I've been there, so I highly recommend those who are wondering can they make it. Totally, you should book Nancy for a call. But I also want to ask you, we talked a lot about overall the diet and all of this, and you run very successful business and you're a super busy woman and all of this. And so I want to ask you, what is your stress management routine? Do you have something that you do every day that helps you with your keep yourself calm and collected?
Yes, and it's been a process, right? Like everything, like kind of trial and error of what really works for me. So one, first in the middle of the day, I have learned to get up out of my desk and go outside. I need the outside. And if I can't get out for a full walk, like sometimes I'll do my lunch hour and I'll take the dog and I'll go for a walk. But if I can't do that, I just get outside. Like that is my mid-afternoon stress reliever. But now my habit that has really been, I've played a lot around with different things in the morning and kind of what works well and what doesn't. And I wake up and I have two or three things I like to read, and they're not very lengthy. One is always my prayer for the day, like always. Another one is a mindset thing. And then the third one is a little bit something about business. They're all maybe maximum 5-minute reads. So what I used to do is read them and then move on to my day. It doesn't work so well. So I read them and then I sit and I have an online journal and I let the downloads come from them. So then I do journal a little bit, but maybe 10 minutes. But then the next thing I do is there's my to-do list, and this one has been the important. There's my to-be list. The to-do list is all my shoulds. I should do this, I should. The to be is who do I want to be today? I want to be organized Nancy. I want to be calm Nancy. I want to be this. And this is who I want to be. And stress doesn't come into play when I'm like, who do I want to be? I write them out and I always pick the to be list is one with work, one with personal, and one with other. And then under that, don't get me wrong, I got a head that's like type A. I got to write out all the to-dos, but I focus on the to be. Who do I want to be? And then I know that if I get these three things done, that then my day is fine. And then at the end of the day, when I'm laying in bed, I have to say, to myself, what are 3 things I'm grateful for that happened today? It sounds so cheesy, so small, but it makes a world of difference. And I went to the Tony Robbins conference in Orlando like 2 years ago with my friend. And he has like a 10, 15-minute morning routine. And he put it out there to all of us. And he said, I just want you to know, if you wake up and you're so darn busy that one, you can't either wake up early for yourself or you can't find 10 minutes to have a little morning routine. He goes, you don't have a life. You are reactive in the life. You are not proactive in your own life. And boy, did that stick with me. I was like, because I was very reactive. I let the day run me. You know, you're an entrepreneur, you're building a business. We are pulled 1,000 different ways on top of life, right? And other people too who go to work, they're pulled 1,000 different ways. And so it's just centering yourself, figuring out ways, take deep breaths during the day. You know, I mean, I'm learning a lot with calendar integrity. It's a struggle. The biggest one right here for me, put it away. I got to put it away. Right? Like when I have stuff to get done, when I'm like stressed, I'm like, that thing can't come out to play. What am I afraid I'm going to miss? Nothing. So I have set times when I'm trying to look at my emails and when I'm, you know, social media is part of my business, when I'm going to go respond to people, but I have to set boundaries. Which I come from a real estate background. So I was terrible with boundaries because in real estate, you are attached. I was in real estate for 25 years. You're attached to your phone. They say jump, you say how high, when, and where. Like, and there are things in real estate that are like, you got to be on it. Not so much in the business I'm in now. And it has taken me, I don't know, 8 years to figure it out. Like, I don't have a weight loss or plant-based emergency at 10 p.m. I don't have to look at my phone or at 5 a.m. I don't have it.
I love those tips that you just shared, and the key is to actually do them. And
Yes.
that's the only one thing that you need to do for your success in anything that has to do with doing achieving any result, is we really, really need to do those things. So
Yeah.
I want to ask you one last question. So somebody now listening in, they all pumped up and they're ready. What is the one thing that they can start doing right now or tomorrow that will put them on the journey that actually will succeed in somewhere?
Create awareness. Create awareness. You can't change what you don't know. And going back to, you know, how many people I'm here, I eat healthy. Maybe, but are you eating enough? What does healthy look like for you? So, in some fashion, write down what you eat and create the awareness. Is this really serving my overall goal? Is this really, when I look at a week's worth, did I really eat healthy all week? Did I really eat enough? I mean, those are key. That would be the first thing. If you don't, because you know, you got to know what you're changing.
In anything. In
In anything, you have to like, right? My favorite, you know, random gets random. If you just keep guessing, what result are you have? If you have no target, if you have no goal, if you have no plan, well, you're just throwing spaghetti against the wall and hoping something sticks. Create the awareness, have a plan. I always say, assess, adjust, take action, assess, adjust, take action.
Well, and for those who are ready to go but don't want to spend enough, they don't want to spend any more time and energy of throwing the spaghetti on the wall, where they can find you to get a call with you and help them on the journey.
Yeah, super easy. It's my full name, nancyleedsgribble.com. And I offer to everyone a complimentary 30-minute discovery call it is not a sales call. It is simply to find out where somebody's at, share what I offer, and see if we're a good fit. And so that's really the first part of it. And it can be scary to call somebody and jump on a phone with somebody you don't know. So I always try to tell people I don't bite. I get that. But that really is, it's literally just a little bit of information to see maybe if you want more information. And you never ever know. This is true. One call could change your life. How many times have you just done one little thing that was a great pivot in your life? And so, yeah, so nancyleedsgribble.com. They can follow me on Instagram. Get it, Nancy Leeds Gribble. And guess what? On YouTube, Nancy Leeds Gribble.
And I will definitely will include in the description below all the other links for your food channels and all of that that you teach. And when I was listening to you right now, I thought to myself, those who don't need help, like they're like, no, I'm not ready for this, but someone that can use Nancy on the journey for the healthier, happier, stressless self, maybe family members, friends, neighbors. You can give them gifts for holidays, like
Yes.
we still have holidays to go through this year, and you just can go there and schedule for them, and Nancy will be very happy, and she's perfect to help them on that journey.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Nancy, for being here. I'm already inspired myself to go and lift some weights, I think.
Oh, yes, you're my nighttime worker outer.
My workout is like at 10:30 p.m. Then I can
Yes,
go
you
to sleep.
always threw, I was always impressed by that. I'm like, I'm in bed and she's working out.
As long as we're doing what serves us and do it stressless, that's the point.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for being here.